Alrighty. So yeah, what brings you to Omegle?
I have COVID-19 diagnosed 3 days ago.
No
Had
way.
it for 5 days. Yeah.
Dude, you have symptoms?
Yeah, symptomatic for 5 days. I got tested 3 days ago. So yeah, confirmed positive, man. They shoved them shit straight up my nose.
Oh, dude. I call
Yeah.
it the nose fuck. That's what I call
It's worse. It's a nose rape, bro. It's not a nose fuck.
it.
Fuck sounds kind of pleasant.
Yeah, they get right up in your brain, right?
If you, my honestly, it feels like it, man. It feels like it.
How do you think you got it?
So it was honestly my fault. One of my buddies, he said, come over to my place. We're having a little bonfire. And he didn't tell me, but his girl was sick. And they're like, they didn't know if she had COVID or not. She was sick, went over there, man, came back home, got symptoms literally 4 days afterwards. And then, hey, man, here I am, COVID symptoms.
Dude, have a bunch of other people from that party gotten it?
Um, yeah, so far it was only four. It was only a party 4 or 5 people, but everybody's gotten sick from it. And they say, man, COVID's super freaking. It's easy to pass on, and bro, it is, man. It really is.
A lot of people think it's fake.
Oh, shit. I will. I mean, I've got something. I can't say it. Like the test says I got COVID-19. I can't prove yes or no myself, but I say it's real, man.
Yeah, I think it's real. My thought is it's that it's real. And what is that? Like the major symptom is like loss of taste.
Yeah, I can't taste anything, man. I could eat literally probably a jar of like garlic and shit, man. I won't be able to.
That is
It's
so
honestly
weird.
it's probably the worst side effect. I can deal with being sick. It just like kind of like or bad flu, maybe regular flu, but the loss of taste, man, really makes it a bummer.
That must be something with like the frontal lobe or like something with the brain.
I don't know, man. All I know is my mouth don't work right, bro.
All I know is I can't taste shit, dude.
Bro, I literally cut. You put shit in my mouth, bro. I wouldn't taste it.
Oh,
I wouldn't
oh
taste it.
God. So,
Yeah.
so could you tell us, like, I think you're the first accountant that I've ever met on Omegle. Uh, could you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what got you into
Yeah, man. So,
it?
well, okay, yeah. So, I actually spent a lot of time in undergrad, 7 years undergrad, did my master's after that. It took 3 years for me to figure out what I wanted to do in college. Finally, I was like, okay, I'm Indian, so I need a degree that has some clout and makes some money. What's the easiest one? All right, out of that list, it's either accounting, engineering, and medical. And I was like, okay, we're going accounting, engineering. It's
A little too hardcore.
bro, yeah. So yeah, I went accounting, man. Honestly, it's not. I enjoy it, and it's only maybe I enjoy it just because like I try really hard at it. But yeah, so I finished my undergrad in I want to say it was it 2018, and I finished no sorry 2019. I finished my master's this year, and now I'm working at a big four firm. So I won't drop the name, but I'm at a big four firm now. So first few months,
That's great.
I love it, man. I love it.
What are the people like there?
They're all pretty cool, man. All pretty cool, pretty, but like accounts, they're kind of straight edge, kind of plain, kind of boring. But you get a little bit of everything. I mean, like I'm an accountant. I'm on Omegle, bro. There's
Yeah, that's the thing is like there's probably one other guy in the office that you just like probably really gel with.
yeah, no, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I mean, it's cool. You get a little bit of everything. It's a big company. It's a big four firm. So there's so many people there. There's a couple people I know, but there's so many personalities.
Could I ask like did you feel pressured to get a job that makes money like by family or
Yeah, it's a big family thing. I mean, and like coming from like an Indian family, and I'm sure there's other families like or cultures that like force you or have put pressure on you. But yeah, it was all by my family. It's like you got to get a good job that makes us look good in our family, because you're gonna get married and you got to get married into a good family, and they won't want to marry you if you don't have a good job. So it kind of
what
goes.
what do you think of that?
For me, it worked out pretty well. 'Cause I'm the type of guy that I wasn't gonna do anything good in my life if it didn't hold me back and it lifted me up. But if you are somebody that's like really outgoing, then yeah, it's gonna hold you back. Like if I want to be an actor, like you, I wouldn't be able to do it. They'd laugh at me.
that would be really tough for someone like me. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, if you could have like when you were younger, when you were like a little kid,
Hmm.
or even like in middle school, high school, like did you have like a dream job that could like seems impractical now, but like if you could do any job, like what would you?
So I remember like when I was little, I always said because my dad's a businessman. He's a businessman. I'll say that, and always when I was little, I said I want to be a businessman too. So I guess I'm kind of a businessman, not really. But I think when I was little, I meant entrepreneur, and I think that I'm not there yet. So
Like entrepreneur meaning like starting
like
something like
yeah,
a new business or something.
yeah, I knew business working for myself, but I don't I have the right idea for that yet, or have come across the right idea to put out there yet.
Yeah. Well, life is long, right? We have these experiences, and something could pop.
Man, it really is. Hopefully, I don't die from COVID. Hopefully, it was long.
Just stop. No, I mean the mortality rate's so low now, apparently, like from it. Seems
Yeah, yeah,
seems like
no, it is. Man. It really is.
there's like an influx of cases, but like a stagnation of deaths, pretty much, or like a plateau.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping it up much, but it seems like it, man. Plus, like the community as a whole, or like the world and the U.S. as a whole, kind of everybody's kind of starting to get more lax. Maybe we're
Yeah,
like starting to forget about it a
yeah.
little.
Everyone's like, fuck it, like.
Yeah, and I mean it's just human nature too. Like I don't blame anybody for it. We were against.
Yeah,
But then hey, we got the vaccine coming out now too. 90% success rate or something.
yeah. That'll be out in 6 months.
Yeah, that's gonna. I hope it's a good thing, man.
I have high hopes.
You gonna get it, man?
What is that? Am I gonna get the vaccine?
Yeah.
You know what? If the majority of people in my life are going to get the vaccine, then I won't. But but if
I,
people are like, I don't know, then I'll probably get it.
yeah, I'm more or less on the same page as you, man. That's funny because I was at a baby shower a couple months ago, and my brother-in-law was there with me. He was like, "Why are we wearing masks? Everybody else is wearing a mask." I'm like, "Dude, you're big brain, but you're at the next level right there."
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, oh, like everyone around me is getting the vaccine, but then if you get the fucking disease, then you're SOL. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
I think better safe than sorry. For the people watching,
yeah.
I think the smart thing to do is to get the vaccine.
Get the vaccine, everybody.
Yeah,
Get
get
the
the
vaccine.
vaccine.
I may not, and you may not, but everybody else get the vaccine.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else get a vaccine. I'll just be here.
Yeah, I'm not getting microchipped like you idiots. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Believe you don't do you believe in that microchip?
Dude, I don't, but I'd like to believe in it.
No,
I
no,
want to, I want to believe in
dude, we talk about things very similarly. Yeah, it's like
it.
you can't help but joke about that. Like, of
Yeah, you can't.
course there
Yeah,
aren't going to be fucking microchips in a vaccine.
there could be, man. Like, I mean, we're doing crazy things, right? Like cars drive themselves now, bro. Why can't we are doing things like that?
If there were a microchip in a vaccine, like, I mean, those are microscopic microchips, which I guess microchip is
Yeah.
like
Well, yeah. So like, they stick like microchips on dogs and stuff too, man. Like when your dog gets lost, they can scan it and see like who the owner is, what the address is, so you can do it with humans.
I imagine that if you're getting a vaccine, you're like watching them put it into you.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh, true though. Yeah, yeah. It's a tiny needle as well, so that microchip would have to be super duper small. Like
yeah,
I'm not sure with any of that, but like, it's gonna be pretty small.
yeah. Like we're not. I mean, we're advanced, but we're not. I mean,
Yeah, maybe not.
you know what I mean? Not
But
yet.
I still want to believe there's microchips in there.
What is the thing you're most freaked out about in our society?
In our society, right? That dude, that's a tough dude. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's not a tough question. I think like the misuse of social media is a big one. Like how powerful it is to turn minds of like people who can be easily swayed. I think that's a big one.
Have you seen that movie, The Social Dilemma?
I have not. No.
Oh, dude. I mean, it'll just further confirm that it's the reason why our country's so divided.
Yeah, I totally see it, man. I see it. It's just
The basic kind of outline of it, I'll just give it to you quickly, is that the algorithms that each, like Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of the search engines, all of the social media have a certain algorithm, right?
yeah,
They're all competing with each other, and they're all competing to be the most precise one to send you the content that you want so that you click.
yeah,
So for people who like really are interested in conspiracy theories, the
mhm,
algorithm just gives them more of what they want.
really,
So that's what's dividing, like people who are interested in scientific articles versus people who are interested in things that are not scientifically proven. Like
yeah.
that's really the kind of
So
divide.
if somebody is like almost on the cusp of being an extremist, but they're not there yet, you could kind of lead somebody down that path, right?
Exactly.
Give them
Exactly.
that extra boost down that little alley. Yeah, man. I don't think anybody really saw how powerful social media was going to be, and it's a great, powerful for good, but it's great. It's done damn. It's been crazy for evil too.
Like our government, in my opinion, I think our government needs to step in and talk about how we regulate algorithm.
I think you're right about that. I think you're right
I think
about that.
that's the first step towards regulating artificial intelligence.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think somebody has to go out there and be like, "Hey, what we're doing right now is wrong. It's really fucking up society, and we got to figure out something to not do that." It's somebody has to step in, and then like you get into politics, and then that's where it gets really is like what how much government interaction is too much or involvement is too much, and
Yeah. Well,
it,
what are your thoughts of the current the the just passed election and all of that stuff?
yeah,
Have any thoughts?
yeah, man. I used to feel like I was politically involved, but I feel like everybody around me who's politically involved is very black or white and really getting upset about a lot of stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to be involved anymore. So this election came around and I was still in the middle, man. I didn't care. It sounds bad, but I just didn't care. I didn't take a side. I wasn't red. I wasn't blue. I wasn't really anything, man. I just was like, hey, whatever happens, happens.
Did you because a lot of people on this channel have talked about why they choose not to vote or why they choose to vote third party.
Hmm.
Where did you stand on that? Did you choose to? I mean, you don't have to answer.
No, yeah, I didn't vote, man. I honestly didn't vote, and maybe I would have gone third party if I knew enough about a party. But I just honest, man, I wasn't even educated enough about the entire situation to vote for any candidate, so I had no right to vote. So
I mean, you
I wasn't informed enough to vote.
I mean, you look at I mean, this is the thing is that what was it? 144 million people voted.
Mm,
330 million Americans.
yeah,
So, I mean, a large bit of that is are people under the age of 18, to be sure.
yeah,
But I would say you probably have 100 million people who didn't vote, right?
yeah.
Well,
That's
I
a lot.
mean,
That's a lot.
yeah, that needs to be there's a conversation that needs to be had about why people aren't voting, and no one's
Right about that. Yeah, and what kind of kept me away from it is that, like I don't want to be painted because if I say, like I like to pick and choose, I like to pick and choose what I like from each side. But I think it came to the point where if you said you liked one thing from one side, you might automatically get just got painted in that color. You were just that color. I think a lot of people are too afraid to say they're one thing or another.
Mm,
You don't want to get these. You don't want to say. You just get stuck with you're everything and that, not just that one thing.
yeah. I think it's an issue. I think that the two loudest sides or the two loudest groups are the ones who are saying, well, like, why aren't you being fully this or why aren't you being fully that?
Right.
It's hard for people in the middle, which is the large majority of people,
Exactly. Exactly.
and really, you don't really need a logical reason to believe something. You will just believe it, and Yeah, it's and then the demonization of people
Yeah.
for not being consistent is a problem because it doesn't lend itself to it doesn't lend our society to deeper conversations about the things that matter.
No, you're right, man. I feel like the left, the loudest groups, they just can't understand being able to just be like, I like a little bit of this, I like a little bit of this. They just can't comprehend it. I don't understand why, but
So, what do you think is something that isn't really being talked about in politics that you would like to hear a conversation about?
shoot, I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Um, there's not really any. I feel like I'm not. There might be some that really affect me every day, and there probably are, but there's nothing that really comes to mind immediately. You know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, totally. So for these videos, I usually ask people, like towards the end of the conversation, I ask them three kind of random pre-written questions that I have here.
Fire away, man.
They're kind of deeper, so you can choose to answer whatever you'd like. If you
Sure.
don't want to, that's fine too. So choose three numbers between 1 and 48.
Okay. 2, 7, and 32.
Okay. All right, number two. Oh, interesting. We haven't talked about this yet. What is your relationship like with God?
Okay. I guess. I guess this kind of goes back to the picking and choosing, right? And it's funny because I guess it's hypocritical, but I like to pick and choose when I'm involved with God, right? And I've actually talked to some Christian friends about it. It's like the only time I get legit religious is when I feel like I have everything to lose, when I'm like really on my high horse, things are really going my way, and I'm afraid that someone's gonna knock me down. Then I feel like I start talking to God a little bit. I'm like, hey, God, make sure you keep this going for me. But when I've got nothing to lose, and I'm like, because then you go through like life is natural ups and downs. I feel like when I'm in my downs, I'm not talking to God, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, hey man, I got to get myself out of here. So I don't know. I really pick and choose when I'm talking to God.
That's like very different from how you kind like some people think about it. Like I would say the majority of people would say, "Oh, when I'm down on my luck, I look to God." But then whenever I'm doing well, I kind of forget about him. But to you,
Yeah,
it's the opposite.
yeah. I just feel like I'm the one who puts myself in a good spot, and then I feel like I don't know. I'm not. Maybe it's something I feel like some unnatural force can knock me down. So
Hmm.
something like that, man. But
Yeah,
that's definitely how I feel about that.
the chaos of life, right?
Yeah.
All right, number seven. What does it mean to be a good listener?
Good listener, man. Basically, just being engaged in conversation, um, really listening to what somebody's saying and hearing in the right context as well. Um, I don't know. It's just that much, man. I don't have too much to say about that, but just listening to this, hearing the person, and understanding where it's coming from. And I think that a lot of that comes from being in like long term relationships too. Because when you're with like the same person for a long time, you're gonna hear what they say, but you're gonna lose the context and the meaning behind it. Yeah, really make sure that you're listening to what they're saying, how they're saying it, and what they mean when they say it.
Have
So
you been in many long-term relationships before?
yeah, I'd say most of them. Yeah, actually, just recently, I mean, that's a little too. My longest one was almost 5 years, so I guess not too long compared to most people, but long enough.
Yeah. And what is like a lesson that you think looking back on that relationship, or if you're still in it, what is something a lesson that you learned from it?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm still in it, man. But there's so many. I think there's so many lessons you can learn from being in a relationship, man. And it's we all have emotional blind spots, as humans. There's things, everybody reacts to things differently and how we say things. And when I say something, somebody might take it wrongly. Your significant other might understand how you're saying it, or even they might like may need affection in a certain way, but they're not good at getting it across. So when we have blind spots and we don't really address those, so and that was the biggest thing for me is like learning to look at those blind spots and kind of looking around and be like, what, how's she really feeling, or
Hmm.
whoever.
Could I? I'm gonna like. I'm liking what you're saying. I'm gonna push you on it and ask. do you have like a specific story that comes to mind when you're talking about this kind of theoretical lesson?
I don't have a specific story, but it was a lot. It was kind of like I conditioned myself into not listening to anything she said and or like did, and then that kind of led to things getting worse and worse, and eventually a breakup. And breakups happen for a lot more reasons than just that, but that was definitely one factor in it. But I don't know, man. I just wasn't listening anymore. Like I'd hear what she was saying, but I wasn't really replying. I wasn't really addressing what she really needed when she talked about things. Or like if she felt lonely or something like that, and she tried to tell me, if I was really listening to what she was saying, I would in a heartbeat know. But I
Hmm.
stopped listening to it because from when you're in a relationship for that long, you're gonna put up these blinders. You don't see it anymore, and just it's part of being human. But you got to be aware of it.
Man, I mean, that's so. What that requires is just a constant openness,
Yeah,
a constant openness to receiving, but also to the possibility of being hurt.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And like
And
that, I mean, that's hard. I mean, 5 years, just like five years of remaining completely open, like that's superhuman. Like that expectation.
absolutely is, and it's they all people always tell you that relationships are hard work, and you never believe it until you're actually doing it, and then you're like, "Oh, it is hard work." And I mean, in a relationship, you'll have easily the best moments of your life and the worst moments in your life. So
Do you think it's better to have lived and loved and lost than to have ever loved at all?
loved and lost, absolutely, man. You can turn anything into because I mean, loved and lost. Better to have never loved at all means you're afraid of like you might be a very regretful person, right? But regrets just mean that you haven't learned the proper lesson from that moment yet.
It's great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, last question here. Last question here. What are you most proud of?
Most proud of, man. I really don't know to be honest with you. I'm not really
It's okay. You can take a moment to breathe with that, and
okay.
you know, there's no need to rush. You're okay.
Okay, so I think I'm most proud of the fact that I really love myself, man. This may sound weird, and it's not in a narcissistic way, but I really love myself. Like, I could just be, hanging out alone and be like, wow, I have a thought in my head. I'm like, wow, that was a great thought, bro. You're a great guy.
That's
You
great.
got that.
Well, we don't
Or like,
see
maybe,
that. We don't see that much.
yeah, we don't, and I am really good at self love, man. I really love myself, and that's a big part of loving everybody else, and I love everybody else too. So I'm proud of that, man. I love myself, and I got a lot of love to give to the world.
There's such an important balance or balance to finding self-love, but also not being narcissistic. Like not
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
yourself all the time, and
Yeah.
like it seems to me that you're very receptive, and um, it's a nice balance. It's really you're just so chill. It's great to just hang out with you.
Hey, appreciate it,
The
man.
little bit
Thank you.
I've talked to you.
Hey, man, you're super chill too, bro.
I'm working on it.
No, man, yeah, you're super chill, man.
Well, so before we go, do you have any last kind of thoughts or anything that you'd like to share?
I wish I did, man. I wish I had something super profound to say, but I don't.
That's human, dude. That's
Yeah.
that's true. It's truthful. Um, cool. Also for the videos, I also I put like a name or a code name, whatever you prefer,
Put my full name, bro.
the state that you're from too.
Okay. I'll give you my full name and my state. Are we still
Okay,
on
don't
the?
give me your full name. Don't give me your full name because this is yeah, yeah. Just like because I post like
Are we still recording?
Omegle screen.
Oh, gotcha.
North Carolina. Okay.
Good man. What you like North Carolina?
I do, man. It's I especially like Asheville and Brevard.
Never been to Brevard, but I spent many weekends in Asheville.
Yeah. I mean the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Appalachian Trail.
Beautiful place, man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you a beach guy or a mountain guy?
Mountain.
Absolutely, man. Love it.
Well, I
Love
mean
it.
I I'm currently in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh,
I have like some of the best beaches here, but I spent some time, well, a few weeks ago I was in Virginia, and I spent like a summer in Yosemite.
yeah,
I don't want to be anywhere else now, so
yeah, man. For me, the more remote, the better. I spend a lot of time alone. And I shit, I love it. I don't know about you, but I love it.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Things are just easier.
absolutely, man. It's just absolutely. It's so much easier when you're alone because you only have to worry. If you fuck up, it's on you, man. That's great. Great when
Exactly.
my fuck up is on me because I don't have to worry about anybody else being in.
I know. Yeah, like when you're alone, you fuck up, you're like, oh man, all right, whatever. But
Yeah, right.
if there are like three people around, they're like, "Oh, Kenny, why didn't you just do that? That's You're like, okay, all right.
I moved back in with my family back what was June, and that's what he hears. Like, oh, you fuck, oh gosh, come on, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't need to hear all this, guys.
Yeah.
Trying to make out.
I'm a grown man, all right? I'm not like
I am
10,
okay.
10 anymore. Yeah. That's one of the issues. Like I was just spending, well, I won't get into it, but I guess I was with a friend lately, and yeah, she was like, "Why don't you just do this? Why don't you do that?" And I was like, "Okay, that is the first red flag to being in a like in a relationship with someone." I'm like, "No, no, no, I can't. No, this is done." You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's funny about you said the whole red flag thing, man? Because I ended my serious relationship about a month ago. But now looking back, there's so many. I like that was the word that came out. There's so many red flags in the very beginning that I should have noticed that I never even once noticed. I was like, wow, man, you really fucked up.
Wait, like what? What were some red flags?
Okay, so first of all, you know the ghost hunter shows.
Yeah.
Dude, all of them were real, man. I can never convince her they were fake.
Are you kidding me? Okay, yeah.
Right? That's a huge red flag.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's the main one. That was the main one. Like, dude,
I,
how did I not see that? Like,
like I kind of want to know how that how that materialized years down the road. Like she thought like there was a ghost under your bed or something. Like
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, she had like, I don't know, where you wake up in the middle of the night, you kind of start sleepwalking, you see things, but she creeped me all the time, man. She'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like doing this, like with her hands, like, dude, I don't know.
no.
5 years, bro. 5 years. I woke up one night, man, and this was after drinking. It was the middle of the night. She wakes up, she's staring at me, and she like punches me in the face. I was like, "What is?"
You're lying. She didn't punch
No,
you in the face.
bro. Swear to God, she went poof straight in the face. Like she thought, like I was. She told me she thought I was another person in the bed. Yeah, she was crazy, bro. Great girl though, man. Great girl. She'll be great for somebody else, not for me.
Totally, totally. There must have been a lot of love there.
Bro, absolutely, man. So yeah, there was a lot of what's it called? Chemistry, but there was not compatibility. We had so much chemistry that it like almost covered up for the fact that we had no compatibility. But then eventually you realize that compatibility is everything and chemistry is not that important.
Yeah, yeah. Like you say, like chemistry. Yeah, like the compatibility is the bedrock on which the house is built.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
But the chemistry is like the fire that keeps you warm.
Yeah, man. We had a lot of fire. We had a freaking bonfire, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've had one of those.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It was so dangerous, so beautiful. Hey, man, if you got time, man, I'll tell you the story of how we met. It's a crazy story.
I would love to hear it.
So yeah, I do. I'm the type of person. If I'm in the mood, I'll just do things, right? So back in 2016, I studied abroad. It's a 15-day program where we're driving through. It's in Ireland, Scotland, England, and Northern Ireland. While we're going through there, I download Tinder. And by the way, if you go abroad or if you haven't been abroad, you download Tinder. Do it because you'll match with every other girl. Because it's just easy. It's cake over there. Tinder's just cake abroad.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're traveling through Ireland. We're near Cork, and I matched with this one girl. I go in the morning, and we're talking a little bit, and she's like, "Hey, my mom will drive me down from Kerry to Cork or from Cork to Kerry. I'll meet you there. I was like, no, that's not worth it right now. So we kept dogging through Tinder, and by this time, a few days later, I think we were already in England, and from there, I was coming back to the U.S. But we were really hitting it off via message, man. We were FaceTiming, and like, you know, when you're like you first fall in love, man, you're like, this is the one. And I was only 20, man, 21 almost. It's like I was like, bro, this is forever. So what did I do? I buy a ticket back to Ireland. Don't tell my family. They don't know to this day. Don't tell my family this day. I spent 4 days in Ireland with her, and we had the best time of our lives, man. It was awesome, and eventually I fly back. We had a great time. She flies over here. She stays with me, and she can't stay for long. You can only stay for 6 months at a time if you don't have for
Green card, right?
you don't have a green card. And you're not recording right now, are you?
I am, yeah.
Okay, we got this part has to be off record.
Okay.
All right. So we go through a process.
Here. Okay, I'll end the recording.
Okay.
I'll end the recording, but okay, I'll just end the recording now.
Could
Sorry,
you do me a
guys. All right,
favor?
see everyone later.